great day for the Commonwealth, the City of Louisville, and UPS. I'm Nick DeAndre, Vice President of Public Affairs, and welcome to our office. How about that, right? Just outside these big hangar doors, almost exactly 37 years ago today, UPS started Air Express operations here in Louisville. That very first night, we sorted 2,000 packages from a handful of airplanes. Today, in the day sort that just ended, Worldport processed 2,000 packages every 3 seconds. And we could fit 15 times that amount of shipments in this massive 747-8 behind us. The UPS growth story in Kentucky has been amazing. More than 23,000 UPS employees, 62,000 direct and indirect jobs created, more than 200 companies that have moved closer to Worldport, $300 million in annual fiscal impact, a leading corporate citizen with more than 4,300,000 volunteer hours donated annually, Metropolitan College and Kentucky Loop educating thousands of Kentuckians, $2.4 billion in capital investments, which will climb to over $3 billion with this announcement today. I could keep going on, but I'm just supposed to be the warm-up act for these folks right here. The point is, UPS has done it very well in the Bluegrass, and that's in no small part due to the tremendous public-private partnerships we've enjoyed with the Commonwealth of Kentucky and Metro Louisville. Governor Bevin, Mayor Fisher, and their predecessors have been very forward-thinking in their partnerships with UPS. They understand our power as an economic engine, and that opportunity for UPS is opportunity for our city and our state. When one grows, we all grow. I guess you could say, united we stand, divided we fall. That's kind of a catchy phrase. I guess maybe we should use that somewhere, huh? Anyway, we're excited to be here again talking about growth. $750 million in projects over the next 15 years, 1,000 new high-paying jobs, and 40 million incentives to make it happen. And we have a great panel of speakers here to tell you all about it. But before I do that, I want to introduce some very special guests who are with us today who helped make this announcement possible. We have Speaker David Osborne and members of the General Assembly joining us. During the last legislative session, they passed an enhanced economic development tool which enabled the Cabinet for Economic Development to be more competitive with other states and to help make this project possible. Mr. Speaker, thank you for your leadership. Metro Council President David James. The Louisville Metro Council has always been an ardent supporter of UPS. Dan Mann, the director of the Louisville Muhammad Ali Airport. We get to say that now, the Louisville Muhammad Ali Airport. We work day in and day out with their team, and there is no question without their support, the network would crumble. Beth McFarland with LG&E, they have been a great community partner in helping with any needs we have in terms of electric capacity. After all, we do run a very large city here at night. The Kentucky Chamber, the Greater Louisville Chamber, and Louisville Forward representatives have joined us. A special thank you to retiring CEO Dave Atkinson, which I know he's here somewhere, who deserves some special recognition for his great time at the Kentucky Chamber and his support over the years. Dave, we will certainly miss you, and I hope you stay close to home. All of these organizations have been instrumental in helping us recruit customers to co-locate in Louisville and have worked to make sure pro-business legislation is moved forward. A special shout out to Katie Smith with the Cabinet for Economic Development for her professionalism and the way she goes about her business. You truly are a star. Last but not least, we have some very special guests, and that's our employees. These are the people that get it done, time in and time out. So there's no question that these are the folks that just get it done. And among them is Charlene Thomas, our Global Head of Human Resources. So I know you all are thinking, okay, if you haven't been recognized, please stand, right? All jokes aside, I can sum up these partners in one quote from our founder, Jim Casey. Determined people working together can do anything. And I'll repeat that again because I think it goes for everything in life. Determined people working together can do anything. So now, on with the show. I'd like to introduce the person whose office we really are in, and that's Bill Moore. Bill is the UPS Airlines Vice President of Aircraft and Maintenance Engineering.
It's great to be here with you in what we're now able to call our old hangar. This building has served us well over the past 3 decades. Our industry-best team of aircraft maintenance professionals has performed a lot of work in here and to assure the safety and reliability of our aircraft fleet. UPS Airlines has grown from a startup carrier into one of the world's largest, serving customers in over 220 countries and territories every day. Next day air volume is growing rapidly, and UPS is winning a larger share of this expanding market. Healthcare, e-commerce, and small business customers are demanding faster delivery times around the globe. So UPS Airlines is growing its air network. We're adding nearly 50 aircraft by 2022. And to keep these aircraft flying at the highest levels of safety and dispatch reliability, as well as in compliance with federal regulations, we are growing our support structure here at Worldport too. Over the next 15 years, we anticipate a series of construction projects that could reach $750 million and create 1,000 jobs. These projects, These projects are part of UPS's overall strategy to make investments in our global logistics network that enable continued growth in strategic markets all over the planet. Most notably, working with the state and the Louisville Regional Airport Authority, UPS will build a new $220 million, 262,000 square foot hangar to accommodate our growing air fleet. The new hangar will be large enough to accommodate 2 747-8F aircraft, like this beautiful jet behind me, which are the largest in our fleet. Due to the configuration of property at SDF, the new hangar will be built on leased land at the northwest corner of the airport on the passenger terminal end of the airfield. Permitting and construction will begin in 2020, with projects scheduled for completion in 2022. Our aircraft maintenance operation is excited to have this new facility on the way. Beyond the new hangar, other notable infrastructure projects include ramp and taxiway improvements, renovated office buildings, expansion of our new Global Aviation Training Center, new flight simulators, and additional operations offices at Worldport. New jobs will reflect growth throughout the airline. Pilots, aircraft mechanics, and support staff will be among the 1,000 high-paying professional jobs these projects will create. And we're grateful to Governor Bevin and the Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority for the flexible package of tax incentives that help make these jobs possible. The incentives are a win-win, helping UPS to expand in Kentucky while creating jobs and increasing tax revenues for the state. UPS, Louisville Metro, and the Commonwealth of Kentucky are symbiotic. What's good for one is good for all of us. We look forward to working together on the new hangar and future infrastructure projects to ensure opportunity and prosperity for our entire community. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Bill. As you can tell, he's really excited because the new building is all his. Next, we have Economic Development Secretary Vivek Serene. And I will just tell you, he insists I call him Vivek, by the way. We were on a phone call not too long ago, and he's like, please quit calling me Secretary. Please call me Vivek. So I appreciate that. And I told him, I said, I'm not going to do that till you say I can call you Vivek. But I'll tell you, we traveled around looking at different places for where this hangar could be located. And I will tell you that his leadership really came to the forefront. It was a very competitive process, and there's no question that the team that he leads really got it done. So without further ado, Vivek Serene.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for coming out here on I want to think it's an August day, but it's October, actually. It's awfully hot out here, but appreciate you taking time out of your schedules to join us. You know, when the governor and I and our team travel around the world to talk about Kentucky and promote the incredible product of the Commonwealth, hands down, every single time we are presenting to audiences, we are talking about UPS. I mean, it is just woven into literally every single discussion. And what's incredible about this business operating here in Kentucky is the reality, and Nick said this earlier, that we can point to 265 different companies that are operating here in this area because of the healthiness of this particular business. And those companies in total drive an annual payroll, listen carefully, an annual payroll of $2.5 billion. $2.5 billion. We were in the conference room waiting to come out here, and we were talking about the 1,000 jobs that are going to be created here with this new endeavor. And the ripple effect, it's almost impossible to measure these 1,000 jobs at the salary that they're going to command, what that means in housing construction, spend in our restaurants, other entertainment facilities, etc. So it's an amazing impact that this company is having. And you know, in totality, this company now is approaching $3 billion of investment here in Kentucky. So it's enormous. And one of the things I want to just compliment the entire leadership team on at UPS is when you are involved in these negotiations, maybe I'm not getting the gray hair, but you're getting a little bit of sleepless nights. And the professionalism of the entire UPS team cannot be understated. This is a very competitive process when there are 3 other possible locations that could be selected. Of course, we're fighting tooth and nail for Kentucky to be the winning horse in that race. But you know, through that, there is a give and take. There is a negotiation process that goes on. And I cannot understate how wonderful it is to be doing those negotiations with a company that at the end of the day wants to also be a great partner to Kentucky, to the city of Louisville, and for this ultimate arrangement to be one that's mutually beneficial. One thing I want to close with. If you are from the Cabinet for Economic Development or Louisville Forward right now, would you just quickly stand up and raise your hand real quick? I want to point out that this team that is here, it truly is a team effort to make a program like this come together. And so my gratitude to our entire team and everybody who's here for your hard work and all that you've done. And Nick, and to your whole team, thank you very much. We're delighted in this announcement. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Vivek. Now I'd like to invite Mayor Fisher to join me. And Mayor Fisher has always been a great supporter of UPS, and he always continues to find unique ways to partner with us to help us move forward. And obviously the programmatic funding through the Metropolitan College Program is just one small example. His willingness to help support in this project is just another. But I could go on and on about the countless times that the mayor has been there to help us. So please welcome Mayor Greg Fisher.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, on this great day here with UPS, and you've heard all the numbers. And well, you think back, almost 3 decades ago when this was a dream for the city, and when UPS was looking to make a strategic investment, and who knew back then what it would grow into today. So this partnership between UPS and the city of Louisville and the Commonwealth of Kentucky has deep roots. And it's just beautiful. I guess we could say like a wonderful big oak tree that continues to grow. It just gets better looking every year, more and more secure with the foundation. The environment for e-commerce obviously just grows rapidly and is going to continue to grow rapidly for as far as we can see. So not only are we excited about today or about what the future looks like, it's just this wonderful partnership that we have. And UPS in so many ways helps set the tone for the city. We're going through a tremendous renaissance in Louisville right now with about $14 billion in capital investment in these last couple of years and 80,000 new jobs, 2,700 new companies. But our biggest employer by far is UPS with almost 24,000 jobs or so. So that is a huge lift for our city. And it manifests itself not just in these magnificent economic numbers that have been up here, but when we take a look It's some of the most generous supporters of our city as well. UPS is a supporter of the United Way, of arts, with our Give a Day week of service. They are always there. And when you guys show up, you show up in numbers. We appreciate that. One of our most recent things, the big sustainability efforts. UPS is always there planting trees for us as well. We appreciate that very, very much. And then when we think about economic development partnerships and workforce, one of our biggest accomplishments between the state, UPS, and the city, people talk about all over the country, and that's the Metropolitan College effort. When UPS had difficulties kind of maintaining a, what would you call it, your overnight workforce? Next day air. You know, it's a hard shift to fill, but having a consistent workforce is super important. So coming together and figuring out Metropolitan College, where UPS could have a skilled, stable workforce and our students could get a degree without a debt, I mean, that is a win-win-win that is talked about all over the country. So if there's a problem, the UPS, the state, the city come together. I don't think we've faced any problem that we can't solve. So I'm really proud of the entire UPS team here. You guys are magnificent for our city. Everybody that works for the state and the Commonwealth, I mean, one of the things I love about our team, and when I'm talking about our team, I'm talking about our collective team here in the Commonwealth. We work together well to solve problems. And there are plenty of states and cities out there and companies out there, I can tell you, that aren't very good at partnering. They're more concerned about themselves than they are about the collective. And the way we get together and make good things happen is great for today, but it's great for our future as well. So congratulations to everybody, Bill, Nick, the entire team. Great job. Thank you. Everybody.
Well, now it's my pleasure to bring up, I always have to move this microphone down because I'm so short. It's now my pleasure to bring up the governor. The governor made it clear from day one that his goal was to enhance the logistics sector in Kentucky. And while I have no idea how much investment has been made in your term as governor, Governor Bevin, in terms of logistics, but I know it's a big number. And I can tell you that he's been a great friend to UPS. He's a great business person. He understands business. He understands our needs. But most importantly, he's just a personable person. 2 weeks ago, on a Friday evening, I'm sitting at home with my wife watching television, and I get a text from the governor, who has sent me multiple pictures of him doing selfies with my mom and dad at an event in Northern Kentucky. And I will tell you, I mean, who else does that, right? And of course, it was a lot of fun for him to send. Heck, I don't see him. He probably sees them more than I do. But the best part was my final closing to him was, please tell them to go home. They need to go to bed. So ladies and gentlemen, without much further ado, the governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Matt Bevin.
It is good to be here. I'll tell you what, I had actually never met them before, but it was a treat to do so. They came up, introduced themselves, and I was struck by something. And again, so many of you know Nick. He's worked for the organization for years, is a tremendous asset to UPS in terms of his interface with us. I quite literally, so much of what we do at the cabinet level, at the state level, would not be possible if you did not have such an incredible emissary on behalf of UPS, so I appreciate it. But I was struck by when I met his parents, you realize all of us, every one of us, is a product of how we were raised. And you were raised by an amazing couple, and they're just fun. I mean, we had fun just connecting the dots of how we both knew Nick. They've, of course, known him a little longer than I have. But I will say this, they knew Nick before Nick existed. But here's the thing. You look at the 37 years. You look at just these numbers that have been thrown out here. 37 years ago, a decision was made. That 37-year-ago decision, and a couple thousand packages that initially were sorted by hand and loaded up and put by what would by modern day standards probably inefficiently into an aircraft and moved on out of here, has led to something that is unbelievable. Even as we sit here and we listen to this sound taking off, that's just the sound of the economy booming. Every one of these roaring jet blasts that we hear are products that are moving out of here because this company now, 260 companies or so specifically directly related, $2.5 billion in payroll specifically directly related to what has happened here in the last 37 years. I mean, this is remarkable. And this investment, it is worth noting, it was not a given. Truth be told, when Bill and his team and others have to make decisions about things like this, you have to think about business risk. You have to think about what risks are you taking by putting too much capital investment into one place. So it was hardly a slam dunk. It was hardly a given that this expansion would happen here. This was something that was competitive among multiple places around the country. And as a company, I'm grateful, truly grateful to UPS for having made this decision, because I do believe our best years are yet ahead of us. You heard it made mention a couple of times that this is Bill's home, that this, for those of you that work in here, that this is your home. And then Bill made the comment that this is going to be the old hangar once these start to get built, which I guess would make this UPS's old Kentucky home, if you think about it that way, which literally, I mean, you think about it, how awesome that something that is this new, this modern, this impressive is going to be the second oldest version of what it is on this immediate site. This 1,000 job potential, it won't happen overnight. But these are six-figure jobs, and as was said, the ripple effect of this is going to be extraordinary in this community, with tens and scores of millions of dollars annually in payroll pouring back into this community, helping people. Again, the 260 companies are ones directly, specifically related to this. Think about the restaurants, think about the shops, think about all of the arts and entertainment that are supported, as was noted by the mayor and others, not only through philanthropic giving, but just through people buying tickets and taking part. I mean, this is incredible what this company has meant for this state. I don't know that there's a state in America, quite literally, that has had as much of their state as positively and profoundly impacted as this state has from UPS. And I'm grateful to you, truly, and to partner with you as we continue to move forward is going to be fun. My vision is a simple one. It's that this state will be the center of engineering and manufacturing excellence in the United States of America. I've said this time and again. I won't take you through all of it other than to say that if we are to engineer and manufacture the greatest products in the world, how are we going to get those goods to market? Increasingly, it's going to be by next day air. It's going to be in aircraft exactly like the one behind us, but like this one over here and any number of other shapes and sizes. Think about this, 50 new aircraft between now and 2022, about a half a dozen of which have been ordered or are about to be delivered, another 2 of each type of aircraft being delivered between now and the top of the year, but in sum total over the next 3 years, 50 new aircraft. I mean, the amount of volume is incredible. And to you, honestly, God bless you for being the one who has to hire all these people. That is not an easy task. I mean, it's a team effort, she's telling me, but I'm telling you, it is not easy in a tough job market to find men and women that will come and to make this company grow. But UPS has always pioneered things that frankly have been thought leaders to so many, not only in this state but in this country. The things you've done to help students go back to school, to help them be in school while they're working, the kind of innovative things you've done have, yes, arguably helped you as a company, but they have blessed us in this community and in this state immeasurably. And the value of that education and of those skills and the dollar generation of those earnings coming back into this community, we literally can't even begin to thank you enough. So thank you for that. I will say one thing at the risk of getting out of line. One of my daughters was a can loader on 4 North, and she said when she comes back for Christmas, she's hoping to be on 6 North. So just, basic. And here's why, in all seriousness, and here's why. And this, in all seriousness, without being way more specific than that, because of the manager, the supervisor that was at 4 North, who apparently she's still in touch with, so that she can figure out what's up where, is now at 6 North. How much does that speak to the caliber of the people that you have here? Not only that they continue to stay in touch with people that will come back and help. She's in school full-time right now. But I mean, the fact that she wants to come back, will be back, wants to work with people who have been that type of a mentor, that type of a inspiration to her, that just speaks volumes about this kind of a company, the caliber of people that you all are bringing in. So thank you for that. And thank you again to UPS, to each of you for taking the time to be here. This is an extraordinary investment. The final thing I'm going to say is this. It's worth clarification. because there's so much misinformation that comes when an announcement like this is made. There was made mention of incentives that are being offered up, and indeed there are. It's about $40 million over the next 10 years, but only if well over $500 million invested, a minimum of $561 million, a minimum of 1,000 jobs. These jobs, all six-figure on average jobs. As those hurdles are met in each of the next successive 10 years, proportionally based on the objective, those incentives will be offered. Think about that. Nothing's being put on the barrelhead. It's an important thing for people to understand. All the risk is being borne by UPS, all of it. 100% of the risk is being made by this company with its private capital, making the decision to invest in our state and to trust that we, upon their attaining these certain things, investing of dollars, employing of people, paying of taxes, will get some tiny little fraction of a percentage of that investment back in the form of a rebate or an incentive. And again, this is an important distinction. This could not happen without private capital, without companies like this being willing to invest in our state. So while you will often read headlines about how the state is investing in this company, truth be told, they're investing in us. We're a small party to this. And so I'm grateful to each and every one of you. I've got some things, I'm not going to hand them to you right now, but some small tokens of our appreciation for those of you that are on this stage from UPS to say thank you for this investment in us. Small things from the Commonwealth of Kentucky and our Economic Development Cabinet. But I just, again, thank you. I look forward to working with you. The final thing I'll say is this. We are grateful to all of you for being here. We want you to continue to be strong here, to grow here. We want your next $750 million investment to be made here. And we want to make sure that you're as happy 1, 3, 5, and 10 years from now as you are today. Thank you so much. And indeed, united we stand, and divided we fall.
Thank you all very much for coming, and we look forward to 15 more years of UPS growth in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Thank you all very much.